Tommy Doman to kick off. And here we go. And Indiana will bring it out to the 25-yard line as our lineups. Quick throw, quick slant, quick 6-yard pickup to Miles Price. Justice Ellison going to be close to a first down.
Oh, for this Michigan defense, though.
Only about 2 yards from a first down. They get the first down. As you saw, their third down conversion, one of the best around at 51% of Justice Ellison. The transfer from Wake Forest.
I did wonder whether Wink Martindale, against this kind of spread option offense that IU runs, would they be coming with the blitz? And they have so far.
And now Rourke throws it over. And it'll be a draw play to Lawton. And he gets about 4 or 5. It's going to bring up third down again. Third down and 5. Rourke, quick throw. It's batted in the air and incomplete. Tyler Morris waiting on the other end. Morris calls for the fair catch and backpedals to take it around the 13-yard line. Both tight ends in there. Colston Loveland and Marlon Klein both split to the left side. That's where he's going with the ball, and it's Loveland, and it's a first down on the first throw. Pickup of 12. And Donovan Edwards in the backfield. Warren gets hit as he throws, but he got it complete. Loveland again, and he's close to another first down. But Donovan Edwards going to be really close. Defensive coordinator's MO. Donovan Edwards, a little stutter step in the hole. 2nd and 7. Davis Warren sets up plenty of time, throws down the middle.
Did he get it up high enough?
And caught by Frederick Moore. Started this at their own 13-yard line. They worked it to the 45 of the Hoosiers. Warren on the move. And he's going to get what he can get out of bounds, which is about a yard. And that's it. That Miami win. And it is Edwards. Maybe 2.
That's good defense by that IU defense that time.
Davis Warren running the wrong way, has to throw this away on their third down conversions. They've got one here, 3rd and 8. Maybe a corner blitz coming, sneaking up. Here it comes. Warren lets it fly. Got it.
Nice timing. Just too much space out there.
First down at the 22. Samaj Morgan in motion. Warren backpedals, fires near side. Did he get it? Great attempt by Tyler Morris if he got it.
I think
at the IU 6-yard line. Donovan Edwards into the middle of the pile, which is still moving, by the way, from the 4. High snap. Hall.
Raheem Anderson is playing center.
Blitz is coming. Davis Warren right in his face, lost the ball because of the blitz. Covered by Michigan. I think.
Maybe.
Zvada to try to put Michigan on the board first, and he does from 39 yards away.
Yeah, but that IU defense presentation and Kurtis Rourke putting 3 more wins together, I think he'd be there.
And Kurtis Rourke will bring his offense out. Lawton in the backfield. They fake it to him, and the throws to the outside complete. And fighting for yardage and getting about 7 is, you know, he's had a circuitous route to become a Power 4 football head coach, but he's won all the places he's been. And
blocking the sled, the first change in the offensive line all year for the Hoosiers.
They've been one of the few FBS teams that hadn't had a different starting offensive line, and now they got things working. Keyshawn Williams again. Rourke loads, fires, complete, I think. Looked like it's Keyshawn Williams again. 51 of 54 when they get to this spot, looking for more. Justice Ellison behind a blocker. He's got it 1st and goal at the 9. And Lawton direct snap. Heading to the left side, got it to about the 7. Nice job by Grant to close in and make a stop. 2nd and goal at the 7. Rourke Going right the whole way. Got it. Touchdown. Omar Cooper. Up and good.
Knew exactly what they were doing, getting the perimeter of that Michigan defense.
This kick is short and going to be fair catch at the 11-yard line. Bredesen, usually where he goes, the running back goes or the play goes. Not this time. Unless they throw it to him, and it's swatted down in Warren's face.
From James Madison just a year ago.
Brought 13, and 10 of them start. Donovan Edwards. And he got about 3. 3rd down and 7, Wolverines.
Brought 6.
Loveland was in motion. Warren's trying to get it over there to him, and it's incomplete. Tommy Dolan to punt. Miles Price will camp under it and take it at the 16. Price, nice return, tiptoes. They'll give it off to him, and he actually goes where we said they shouldn't, but he got about 4. Lawton in the backfield with Rourke. He's looking that way on a wheel route. Got it to him.
Get on a roll.
Let's see if they do. 3rd down and a yard. And they're
nice run.
got the 1st down. Nice second effort there by Lawton. Well, they've been nuts over this offense this year because of those numbers. And out near midfield goes Ellison. 2nd down and 6. Just shaded on the IU side of the 50. Rourke comes up fire. A nice catch by Omar Cooper. Going to be short of the 1st down, but a nice grab.
Well, we talked about those 2 inside guys, and they have to take on the blocks, double teams every play. There's a double team. Oh, nice switch off to the linebacker, though.
Another quick throw with some tempo and a 1st down and more from Miles Price. At the 36 of Michigan. Rourke straight drop this time. Gonna go long. Airs it. Got a man there. Got it. Elijah Surratt. Touchdown. Radicic in for the point after. Up and good. Derek McCormick to kick off. Jordan Marshall on the return. And Marshall had a little crease that closed around the 23-yard line. Benjamin Hall's going to be the tailback again here. High snap. He gets the carry and broke a couple tackles. Got about 5 yards. And he did have 58 yards on 9 carries last year in this game. And he's going to get another one right here.
Well,
got 2. Orji got the 1st down and then some. Almost got face masked in the middle of all that. Samaj Morgan in motion. Wolverines from their own 36. Warren, that one has hit. Trying to get it to Morgan. Somebody tipped that on the way. 36 yards just on one series. Davis Warren, deep drop, throw. That one a little bit high. Was intended for Colston Loveland, incomplete. Warren pointing at the safety, thinking there might be a blitz coming.
This has been the trouble spot over here for Michigan in pass protection.
They back out of that, but the rush is good anyway. And Warren got away. Going to be a late throw down the middle.
Oh,
incomplete.
Man, he had him wide open.
Miles Price camps under this one. At about the 18, broke a tackle, a second good return. He got pelted out of bounds after maybe a 7-yard return. Go to the ground game for just a bit. Tyson Lawton, and he's almost perfect so far. Here comes a late blitz. Rourke waits and throws a strike on the run. Omar Cooper to the 30-yard line. 41 to the 31 and a 1st down. Fake the toss sweep. Pressure finally, and down he goes. Ball is out, but covered by Indiana. The Hoosiers came in having allowed only 7 sacks on the year. The first one today, and they go right. Oh,
what a catch.
Wow. Number 6 and number 6.
Holy cow.
Only the 9th catch of the year by Ellison, and boy, he felt it.
Yep. How about holding on to that one? On that one, he survived more than the ground.
Okay, absolutely. And 3rd and 12. Rourke. And
nice
couldn't quite
coverage.
tuck that one in there. Zeke Berry with a nice play.
Kenneth Grant. All the rest are backups.
3 wideouts to the right now. One comes back in motion for Kurtis Rourke. 4-man rush. Rourke loads, fires middle, incomplete, and Michigan will take over on downs. Loveland in motion. Warren
Hit the
throws,
umpire.
and the umpire dropped it.
Yep.
Incomplete. Bredesen in motion will set up in the backfield. Mullings got about 5 out of that. They'll bring 5. Warren got it complete. Out to Tyler Morris. He's got a first down at the Indiana 48. Fakes it to Mullins.
Oh, man.
And the ball is out, and Indiana's got it. Rourke going back to work and going deep on the sideline. Back shoulder throws. There a flag? There is. Going to be a penalty on Makari Page. Play action. Rourke throws out in the flat. Got it to his tight end Horton, and Horton still running.
And well performed with that offensive line.
Zach Horton to pick up a 15 to get it to the 18-yard line. Back in the red zone, looking for more. This one stopped nicely. Here goes the tailback inside the 15, and that's Tyson Lawton. Rourke with a blitz coming. Throws, slant, got it. Inside the 5 is Miles Price, and he took a big hit at the 2-yard line.
What a beautifully designed play to the outside. Looks like we got a flag down on it. Wonder if they're going to call pass interference.
For an offensive injury. On the previous play, pass interference. Offense, number 3.
Yeah.
15-yard penalty from the previous spot. It's still 3rd down.
From the 29-yard line, 3rd down and 21. Rourke throws complete. Not going to get to the first down. In college football that have had 6 or less field goals. This will be a 40-yard attempt. Radicic. He says, I know how to do this, coach. You just have to let me.
I was listening all week, and there was some question about how well this Michigan defense is tackling all year. They're tackling great. They're just completing passes against them first.
Right. Not that many yards after catch. It's yards before catch.
Yes.
Jordan Marshall on the return here for Michigan. And another nice return. Warren looking left. Trying to buy himself some time. And throws complete going the other way. Got it to Kendrick Bell for the first down with a flag.
Holding. Offense, number 56. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. It's still 1st down.
They don't want to give him the ball with 45 seconds left.
Well, they'd like to get a first down, but it's 1st and 20. Warren on the run, throws it complete.
I don't think so.
No?
Yep.
No, incomplete. Second down at 20. Don't have to get all of this on this play, but you probably wanted more than that. Whoa, what a lick.
As if he did initiate contact with that crown and drive it into his opponent, as we see right there.
After review, number 9 in the defense targeted player number 0. It's a 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. An automatic 1st down. Number 9 is disqualified from further participation in today's ball game.
So the starting corner.
The clock will start on the snap.
No timeouts, though, for them. They work from their 40-yard line. Blitz coming off the edge in the corner. Warren in trouble. And they don't get to him. He got rid of it. On 2nd down at 10. Davis Warren, quick throw into traffic. Loveland, they got the same swagger their coach
Oh, they got a
has.
free play here.
Warren down the middle, too high and complete. Warren in trouble again. And broken up, intended for Loveland. So Doman to punt. Keyshawn Williams back deep. He's going to let it go, and it's going to make it to the end zone. Probably looking for more right here with 1:20 to work with. Nope, going to be a draw play. Ellison. They're running out of time to attack. They're going to do what Gary said. And Makari Page makes a nice stop on Ellison. Those guys have got to be getting colder, because I think it's getting colder.
It's getting colder, but I don't know.
They might not feel anything. That's a whole other story. Marshall's going to bring it from the 3-yard line. Trying to get to the far side, got to the corner, and a nice run back. What a good spot to start here to the third quarter from the 40. And Mullings will go for about 4 on the first carry. He was in limited action in the first half, but Gary, no rushing yardage. You talked about before the game.
Yeah.
You know, could they maul him? Could they play bully ball? And they certainly didn't get away with any of that.
I thought key to the game, more than the Michigan defensive line, was the Michigan offensive line.
Right.
And they have not been able to push this IU defense around at all.
Davis Warren in the shotgun, and Mullings with him. Both backs in there right now. Donovan Edwards gets a call left side. Donovan goes for close to 10.
I thought he had a crease there and he was going to go.
Let's check in with Jenny.
Yeah, I spoke with Sharon Moore, and he said, well, that wasn't our half, but we have another half to go out there. We need to be physical. We need to play proud in our game out there. I asked about Khalil Mullings and why we're not seeing the playing time we're used to seeing him out there. And he said, well, Donovan Edwards and Ben Hall, they've been practicing better. They've been playing better. So I got to go out there and play the hot hand, guys.
Okay, he's going to try to give Mullings a hot hand here, I think, to start the third. And that's not hot enough. And it's C.J. West, who's had a really nice game from his defensive tackle spot.
He did, but I think it was Mikhail Kamara that got in there first and got the traffic behind the line of scrimmage. Let's see who gets in there. Yes, right inside. Well, look at that. Just getting the penetration on that play.
He's a disruptor.
Yes, he is.
Second down, 11. Right at midfield.
The other thing is the IU secondary is not backing up now. Remember those stop routes that they started the game with? They're knocking them down now. They got to go deep pretty soon.
Mullings trying to weave his way for about 4 more.
You know, an aggressive run there, but a solid tackle. He could not rip through that one-on-one tackle.
Aiden Fisher, another one of those James Madison guys, who's a leading tackler coming in.
Think about that. The modern college football, especially IU, 11 starters, 10 of them transfers into IU to be their starting defense. 5 from James Madison University.
Not too bad today on third down conversions for Michigan. 3 for 7, and it's third down and 7. They're going to keep it on the ground. Mullings not going to get there.
Yeah, you got to think with that play, they're going to go for it on fourth down.
Aiden Fisher, another tackle.
Trying to catch them on that play, on that third down play, into an attacking, try to gash them up front. Let's see what happens. Almost, it looked like they had it, but just the end of the play, Aiden Fisher was able to reach across and make that tackle.
Well, fourth down. Michigan 10 out of 13 this year on fourth down conversions.
Can they get Loveland involved in this football game here?
He's in tight on the right. Try to draw him off sides. That's not working.
And you could feel that as a receiver too. You're running your route, and you know if you're open, you could get the ball.
So Doman punts it away. And just clearing everybody out. It's going to take a nice bounce for Michigan inside the 5. Good coverage down there as well. And it was Kalel Mullings Lawton in the backfield in the end zone with Kurtis Rourke. They fake it to him. Quick throw, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Zeke Berry. There's the first mistake by the Indiana quarterback.
RPO tried to go to Surratt that time. Number 13, Zeke Berry, squats right on it. Had to be thinking, could Michigan find a turnover? And they sure did, didn't they?
Second interception of the season for Zeke Berry.
Curt Cignetti's playing it safe at the end of the half.
Yeah.
Playing it safe on the punt. All of a sudden, turnover on the 7-8 yard line.
They came in plus 10 on the turnover margin. There's a minus on that play. And golden opportunity for the Michigan offense that hasn't done much, but they don't have far to go here. It's first and goal. Benjamin Hall in the backfield with Warren. Just outside the 7-yard line. He gets the call. Backpedals for about a yard. C.J. West the first to make contact.
Cannot really cash them, can they? I mean, that IU defensive line, you know, for years and years and years, Michigan bullied them with that running game against them. This front 4 is not backing up.
And late substitution by the Hoosiers. Second and goal. Donovan Edwards back at tailback. Warren has a look to the sideline. The shift on the defensive front for IU. Donovan Edwards trying to weave for a couple of yards. Actually, the pile's still getting pushed. Everybody got into the act there, and he ends up with a good yardage.
I was with you. I thought that was a 1 or 2 yard gain, and it ended up being a successful play. Watch, he gets stopped right about, what, 6-yard line?
Yep.
And then help is on the way.
And he ends up at the 3.
Obviously.
2 down territory.
Yeah, absolutely.
Crowd trying to get into it. Alex Orji in now at quarterback. And it's an empty backfield, so it's Orji's to run. Unless he gives it to Bredesen, who's on the move. He'll follow him. Orji to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. 4th down. Linnell Carr made the stop.
Totally turned that play in. Watch him turn, go upfield, do his job. Make sure that ball is turned back in where you've got help. Takes on the block, turns it back in, and then it's cleaned up.
Boy, what a nice play.
Yep. He didn't just go for the tackle. He did his job first. Get outside, do containment, and almost a disaster for Michigan on the fumbled snap.
So they're going to go for the field goal here. We thought it was 2 down territory.
Make it a 11-point game. Is that what they're thinking?
Yeah. Dominic Zavada try a 22-yard field goal here. And we got it.
He kind of said when that TV deal came through, I figured I could go turn this place around. You know, I got money to do it. I got a school that's hungry. I've done it before. Let's give it a try.
And first down. See how Rourke comes back from that interception. They'll keep it on the ground, and there's one of the best runs of the day for Tyson Lawton. 568 yards for James Madison on the ground last year. He's got a first down on the ground. Not a lot of ground game by either team, but Indiana's got something working on the ground right here. And off the RPO, the throw a little bit behind. Second down at 10. Michigan, a little movement on their front wall as if they might bring a little heat here. Rourke. Almost another Zeke Berry interception. Wink Martindale told us, the defensive coordinator, Zeke Berry wants to be great. Last 2 plays he has been. Rourke, safety valve is too far in front of him. They do get a stop. Set to kick away, Samaj Morgan. Waiting for it on the other end for Michigan. Samaj with a fair catch. Taken around the 18-yard line.
2 catches on the first drive, nothing since.
He's in motion to the top of your screen. Warren's coming back the other way, though, and completes it to Kendrick Bell. And it is. And it's no gain. That's Loveland, the motion man. Donovan Edwards straight ahead, just about popped it out the backside.
When will Michigan go deep? They've been squatting on every throw IU has.
Samaj Morgan in motion. Warren's going to throw it out to him. Wide out screen, but not much blocking there. That 0 is not a good one.
Yeah, the longest play today, 16 yards.
See if they get something here. They're going to go short to Mullings. Mullings broke 1 tackle, got the first down. Still haven't reached midfield, though. Donovan Edwards. Wow. He waited and waited and waited for his blockers, and he waited too long. Terry Jones says, Warren, quick throw, Loveland. And the crosser, short of the first down, but gets the call, gets the first down. Flea flicker coming. Warren loads, fires near sideline, incomplete. Mullings trying to weave for some yardage, got about 4. Mullings, nope, not going to get away. This from 56. Zavada, count it.
Yes.
Indiana will bring it out to the 25 on their offense.
And they're getting their hands on the footballs.
Rourke wants to throw, but he can't. It's going to be sacked.
Playing the Will Johnson spot, bottom of the screen.
Kalon Black in the backfield. He's going to get the throw out in the flat, and Michigan's all over it. Cameron Brandt made the stop as we check in with Jenny.
You guys just mentioned Will Johnson. Remember, he got sidelined at Illinois 3 weeks ago. The specific injury has not been disclosed, but on the sideline, it looked like they were looking at that left big toe. Now, I asked Coach Moore if we're expected to see him. He's not here today. Coach said that he hopes to be back for Nebraska and Ohio State after the bye week, guys.
All right, Jenny, thanks. A loss of on the play of 4 brings up 3rd down and 21. Gary, that third quarter, IU only had it in 1 minute and 43 seconds and only picked up 7 yards. And here in the 4th quarter, they're going backwards again.
CJ Guy again. 2 sacks in 3 plays.
So negative yardage in the 3rd quarter and the beginning of the 4th. Wink Martindale's defense comes up big.
Watch us move up and inside this time. Sets up Wedding, and it comes inside, crashes inside, got helped by Rolder, the linebacker, helping with the stunt. He wasn't just blitzing, he was blitzing to hit the tackle.
So 7 sacks all season, and now 3 today by Michigan, and here's Evans having to punt.
Great design by Wink Martindale that time.
Samaj Morgan waiting on this kick. Wants to just clear everybody out of the way because the punt was
field position.
Loveland in motion. Donovan Edwards on a little counter cut back. Edwards almost broke another one. Terry Jones brought him down, but he got 8.
Yeah, you got to run the ball if you're Michigan. It's too high safeties, too deep. They're forcing you to run the ball, and they do. Bring in the tight end. They got 6 against 5 in the box, and they're successful with it.
That was a great cutback run by Edwards. But Jones holding on for dear life after an 8-yard pickup. Bredesen in motion. Edwards, first down. Loveland, complete.
Personal foul. Hands in the face. Defense, number 95.
Trying to tie the game up. If they can score and go for 2 from the 9-yard line. They're going to have to get all of this 9 yards away from the goal line. Donovan Edwards, little stutter in the hole, dives forward near the 6. And a little pushing and shoving after the play this time.
So you always think down here in this area of the plus 20 that second down is a good passing down. Give them a little play action, cross those receivers. It's tough for those DBs down here to do their run assignment and pass at the same time.
Well, this is one of the times they don't bring Alex Orji in a goal-to-go situation. Second down and goal. Edwards fighting for yards, maybe to the 3, right around there anyway. They're riding Donovan Edwards right now.
Well, they're playing Michigan football, right? This is what they do. They trust their running game. They try to mash you.
They change up personnel, both teams. It's just outside the 3-yard line. Third down and goal. Mullings in now in the backfield.
Third time they've been in the scoring zone. The other 3 times kicking field goals.
Kalel Mullings gets the call, pushing forward. Really close, but not in. Fourth down.
Now remember that play call against USC. They brought in number 44, Max Bredson, ran to the left, did the old isolation play.
The ball might have come out at the bottom, but it's still going to be about the 1-yard line because Mullings covered it. It's actually inside the 1. Holding on for dear life. Here we go.
Bredson's in there at fullback. Remember, they ran left to score.
Play clock. Mullings airborne, touchdown.
Same play they used against USC.
On a 2-point conversion to try to tie the game. And now Donovan Edwards on the move. Davis Warren waiting, looking, running out of time. Back foot throw, incomplete. Tipped. Was intended for Peyton O'Leary.
They tried to post up where you have to play clutch football. IU, do they have enough experience to do this? Being in this position twice this season against Northwestern and Maryland.
Tight game. 9.5 to go. They'll keep it on the ground to Ellison. Justice Ellison, only a couple-yard gain.
Yeah, big Kenneth Grant that time. Remember how they played him. We were noticing through the game that Grant and Mason Graham were not in there all the time. Well, they've got him in there now. Okay, fourth quarter, they asked him. I saw the interview with him. You've played a lot of snaps. You played more in 10 games than you did in all 15. He said, we got to win. When they call on me, I'll be ready.
Second down and 8. Michigan looked like they were going to bring the blitz. They do on a delay. Throw to the sideline, back shoulders all the way to the coaching staff.
I'll tell you, Jay Sean Barham that time, again, with that linebacker blitz, he has been effective the last 5 games with this blitz from the linebacker position. Watch number 1 right here. Get in there and crease and get right into the face of Kurtis Rourke. Runs right through the block, and you can feel it as you're throwing the ball. No way you can complete that one.
So now third down and 8. The crowd is quieted. Michigan looking to get another stop. Indiana doesn't have a third down conversion this half. Rourke, quick throw, complete, first down. And it's Keyshawn Williams again.
Yeah, you could see the open bubble to throw to that time. This is where you got the space right here. Go out, stop, and then not quite the perfect tackle.
Back to the ground. Ellison dropped for a couple-yard loss, and it's TJ Guy, that guy again.
He's having a great second half.
TJ is senior, 6'4", 250. Notre Dame, their last win by trailing by more than 8. They were down 8, went for 2. 8 minutes left. 2 timeouts remaining for Indiana. 3 for Michigan. Pump fake, pump and go. Oh, what a perfect throw, and he didn't catch it. Surratt dropped it.
And that's what I'm talking about. The pressure in a football game now, okay? They haven't been here before. Who will make the clutch plays? We've seen this over and over in our years doing games, teams that win championships. It's never all easy all year. Going to have a couple of these where you make the clutch play and you win the game. Perfect throw.
Yep. Not a perfect catch. So that's 3rd down and 11. Everything was going smoothly for Kurtis Rourke in the first half. Not so much second half. Needs one here to stay on the field. 3rd and 11. Pocket collapsing again. Got away, but not in the end. Goes down, Jason Barham.
Well, Mason Graham was in there from the outside. The running back did not get the edge at all. No one gets the edge to this side. I think it was Lawton. Did not get the clean block outside. That was a problem, and it collapsed.
Barham's a guy we highlighted on defense because the last few weeks seeing him play, he's been coming on strong, and a loss of 14. It's 4th and 25.
Feels like Wink Martindale is so comfortable attacking the quarterback and playing man, doesn't he?
Yeah. James Evans punt. They're just going to let it bounce. Oh, that went way too many yards. Finally scooped up at the end by Samaj Morgan, and then he's dropped. Donovan Edwards in the backfield behind Warren from the 27-yard line. Gets the carry and loses. Now we got back to the line of scrimmage. They fake it to Mullings. Warren throws back to Mullings, and he's going to get dropped for a loss again. 3 receivers to Warren's right. Down the middle, high.
Field on him. Look at, he's got him. That's as easy as you can get for a quarterback in the Big Ten right there.
Instead, a punt coming up from Tommy Doman. Williams runs up on it, makes a great cut. Trying to get to the far side. Still on his feet inside the 40-yard line. Keyshawn Williams, who's made big plays as a receiver. No play bigger than that one.
So aggressive going for the short kick on this one. Watch, he's deep. He probably runs 20 yards up to catch it on the run. He's going to come way up to here to even catch it. And he hits it full speed. Only
a 34-yard punt, and that's why, as Gary said, you catch it on the fly and you take it back 21 the other way.
Yeah, watch how aggressive on the run, and then he beats the coverage with his aggressiveness.
Indiana with a slim lead, but good field position inside the Michigan 40. Michigan's defense swarming there on Lawton
for a field goal, but you got to be thinking touchdown and put this game away.
Remember, Radicic, their field goal kicker, hit from 40 earlier, which was his season long. Rourke, slant, complete. Keyshawn Williams, first down.
So let's see how aggressive now IU continues to be. They've had trouble protecting the passer on long throws. When they've been 3rd and long, it seems like the slants have been working. They don't want to settle for a field goal here. They cannot play this safe.
Michigan fans came here hoping for an upset. -1 yard offense in this half, even though that was a first down throw.
They've not been able to run in the second half. Who's on the bottom of that one?
Might have been Houseman, their leading tackler, inside linebacker. As they unpile people, he's in on it somewhere. And that expression hasn't changed much all day. Letting the clock wind down, though. No tempo involved in this one. You can see the line to gain for their field goal kicker that is, in our opinion, having hit from 40, earlier. Justice Ellison back in at tailback. And he gets the draw play. Ellison tripped up by Barham.
Yeah, the delayed draw. We saw this. Oregon use this effectively in past games. Look for the pass, delayed draw, get downfield. And Barham was fortunate to get on that leg that time.
Yep. And he's down, as a matter of fact.
No hurry here if you're IU.
Rourke looking to throw on third down. Back shoulder's perfect. No, he dropped it. Elijah Surratt, that's the second one this half that he had his hands on.
Yep, perfect throw. Back Hill. Jair Hill, man-to-man, right in his hands, cannot survive. He had it. You said he caught it, but he did not survive it.
Kick on the way, right dead center. Two big kicks by a guy that doesn't kick many.
In this game, this defense for Michigan, giving the offense a chance. Timeouts, obviously 4 downs if they want it.
Jordan Marshall on the kick return, only got out to the 20. So they're 80 yards away, and they need a touchdown.
I think if IU holds into this game, I think that punt return is going to be the key play of the game for IU. Because that punt return got him into field goal range.
That was Keyshawn Williams. Even though he made some big catches, I mentioned at the time that might have been his biggest play. But a lot of football to go. 2-minute timeout and 3 timeouts for the Wolverines. Loveland in motion to the top of your screen. Davis Warren, quick throw to the outside. Peyton O'Leary, and he says he caught it. The corner is saying he trapped it.
Or is he wanting him to snap it fast because he knows he trapped it?
Ooh, I think he might have caught it. I think he got his fingers underneath it. At any rate, here we go. Warren throws to the outside, complete. Tyler Morris, first down from the 33-yard line. Davis Warren, pressure coming. Just got rid of it, and too high and incomplete, intended for O'Leary. Warren, pressure coming again. Wants to throw back across his body, incomplete. Loveland, the intended receiver. It's third down.
So that time Carr dropped. They had 3 men to that side. He drops, and the pressure comes from the other direction. Well, now Carr, watch. He's right here. He'll drop, and then the pressure comes over here. 3-man rush with pressure.
Crowd as loud as they've been all day. We started with sunshine. We're into darkness. And they're on their feet for the IU defense. Third down and 10. Warren. Deep ball. Samaj Morgan couldn't handle it. Terry Jones broke it up.
Well, I really thought that Michigan was going to get called for holding that time, but one-on-one to the outside, good coverage. Ball was in position from the slot position. Oh, wow, look at Terry Jones was right into the face of Morgan. He turns around and looks at the referee to make sure it's not called pass interference.
Well, yeah, I think he got face masked by Samaj Morgan. Here's the ball game for Michigan. 4th and 10.
4-man rush has been enough. Is it going to be more? 4.
Warren throws complete. O'Leary doesn't get there.
Does not.
Short by a yard. The Michigan player is pointing first down, but his knee hit down.
He did.
A yard shot.
Had a good stunt that time. A 4-man rush with a stunt from the outside. Going to come across, catch it. Great effort to get the first down. Knew where he was, but he could not reach far enough. Remember, Michigan has 3 timeouts left. They could get the ball back.
Aiden Fisher with another tackle, number 4. That one just enough.
You love the aggressiveness and the pass rush for IU that time. They did all kind of stunts up front. We talked about that early. They disguise their fronts as well as anybody in college football.
.135 now for Indiana. Michigan 3 timeouts left. Tyson Lawton in the backfield with Rourke. He'll get the handle. Broke one tackle and broke another and almost sprung that free.
Probably be good for IU if they don't get the first down, because it'd be short second and very short. Nice aggressive run, running through 2-3 tackles on the play.
Michigan has battled back from being down 17-6.
Michigan not taking a timeout, feeling the second and short. Feels like they're almost conceding the first down here.
A minute to go, 3 timeouts. When are you going to use them? There's one.
Did.
But
yeah, he had to take it. Boy, what was that? That cost him almost 30 seconds to decide on that play.
that's not good game management. Kept by Rourke in a slide at the 30. They waited the whole game to pull that one out.
You knew he always could do it. We thought he might do it inside the 20, but with the game on the line, does it for the first down, and now the count will go down way low if Michigan even has a chance to get the ball back. Seems like the winning play of the game right there.
Yeah. Indiana got put in hot water by Michigan today, and it's going to be sweet tea when this one's over, because they'll be a perfect 10 for the first time ever. One more knee, and that guy can put his shirt on. And the chance of Hoosier Daddy from the crowd here.
I tell you, a big salute to this Michigan defense.
Yes.
Second half. They played maybe their best half of football, settling down, playing man. I thought Zeke Berry was tremendous in the second half. TJ guy, but Indiana survives it.
History made on that kneel down. Indiana is 10-0. Let the fireworks begin. Kurt Cignetti has turned a moribund program of football around completely, and still they have not lost a game this year.